me introduce myself. My name is Nurse Coach Odie. I am a board certified nurse coach. I am a cannabis nurse educator. I'm a CNA instructor. I do lots of things. I'm a nursepreneur. That's what I do. But my most favoriteest thing to do is speak life into people and let them know that they can change their mind, rewire their brain. A lot of people get overwhelmed throughout the day. We get like just bogged down with the heaviness of the world because like the world be whirling around us, like it's hard out there. People just be trying to beat you down and cut you down with an axe, and you just be trying to keep them roots in the ground and grow tall, right? So it's hard out there, and I for whatever reason I felt that today. Um, and anyways, so I'm a master's prepared nurse. What? Yay, finally. And I'm a speaker. Let me toot my own horn here. I spoke at the Nebraska Nurses Association last October, and I spoke about cannabis and my lupus journey. So this is where this all stems from. I used to be on 12 plus pills, diagnosed with lupus. I had all kinds of strange symptoms, swollen lymph nodes, pain, like extreme pain to where I couldn't walk. Like my foot hurt me so bad, my hips hurt me so bad. I got weird upper respiratory infections that would last forever, and I'd be on steroids and antibiotics and steroids and antibiotics, and I got just crazy stuff, and it took them like a whole last year to finally diagnose me with lupus. And I really kind of used to be the cheerleader for healthcare, and I'm just not that person anymore. I feel like we live in a broken system, but I think we have the wisdom and the knowledge there. We just need to look for it. I don't want to be all doom and gloom because that's not the point of this call, but I feel like the world does kind of bog us down. It feels like they're trying to keep us small. But we have to remember who we are. Like we are spiritual beings having a very human experience. We got to connect back to who we are. Anyways, that went down a little rabbit hole there. So today I was kind of unsure. Let me cough. Excuse me, on what I wanted to talk about. And then I went outside and I put my feet in the ground because I'm a hippie like that. I'm woo-woo. Like to put my feet in the ground, connect to the earth, and I believe in the healing energy from the ground and just absorb the sun. Like if you can go out in the sun for like 15 minutes, that's, it's good for you. It's healing like 100%. And so last week we talked about the negative thoughts that we have in our head, right? And so I thought like, what was the thing that came up for me a lot? And I'm sure this is women in general, moms, caretakers, spouses. Am I enough? Like, am I enough? Have I done enough? And that's what came, like, I'm not enough. I like to think very highly of myself and I think I'm fabulous. But so often I feel like, God, was I enough today? Did I do enough? And I feel like it doesn't matter where you work, but in nursing, I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. It's been an emotional kind of day for me. Is did I do enough for, my patients? Did I care for them enough? And we pour our soul into our career, right? We like pray for this thing that we want so bad, and we're there, and then we hate it because we feel so broken and lost and it's hard to try to find that joy again, the joy that made you love the thing that you do every day. Because you feel like you're not enough, right? Like, can I do enough to make a difference? Can I make a change? Because we want probably like this radical change, like people who are struggling with weight loss is a good example. Um, you know, if you're 50 pounds overweight and you're like, man, I got to lose 50 pounds, you lose sight of losing just 5 pounds. We lose sight of, man, if I can sustain 5 pounds for 3 months lost, yay, right? Let's celebrate that thing. And it's hard to celebrate and when you feel like you're in the suck. And I don't want to go off course. This is why I have notes because I'm ADHD be strong, okay? Um, so what came through to me today, I was judging myself for needing cannabis or feeling like I have to use something outside of me to make me feel better. And like, why do I need something outside of me to make me feel better? And but I would never ever judge a patient for using cannabis ever. And I would never ever judge a patient. You know, my job is there to care for them and take care of them in a vulnerable state, right? So I try my hardest not to judge my patients. Although I'm not, I'm human. I'd be judging. I'm not gonna lie, okay? But I try not to. And so isn't that wild that like as moms even or we give compassion to everybody else, right? We give them all of what they need, but not for us. Like we neglect us. We're not nice to us. We forget about ourselves. Like I was talking earlier, I was really sick with the flu. And it's the first time I really allowed maybe someone to take care of me in a really, really long time or remember what that was like. And I was humbled, so humbled because I mean, I just felt this like guilt, almost shame, like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going through this sickness where, I'm like bodily functions, come on, I'm in my 40s, let's go. Like it just was, we're moms, we're nurses. I mean, we've seen it. And we've probably even experienced, like, if for the nurses on here, and even my sister, she's a caretaker, like patients apologizing, saying, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. And they cry and they feel shame. And that just would break my heart, like people so vulnerable and we're apologizing for being human. We're human. And I just wanted to point that out. That's what hit me so hard today and kind of feeling like not enough. And if you're the one who's like, man, I'm the one who takes care of everybody, so why is it so hard to let somebody else take care of me? Like, you know? I mean, I think all of us on this call actually have sat with people at the end of their life. People who are saying sorry for being sick, for being vulnerable, for needing help. And again, why do we apologize for being human? And we all do the same thing. I'm sure if anybody wants to chime in or share anything, I feel like that's a very shared human experience, and we don't talk about it. We don't talk about it. We don't talk about the suffering. We kind of try to show up and be all happy-go-lucky and poop rainbows and butterflies, and that's not the reality, right? And we find ourselves questioning, am I doing enough in my relationship? Am I doing enough at work? Is anybody even going to show up for me? I mean, that was legit. I'm like, is anybody going to show up for my call? Am I making a difference? I don't know if anybody's felt that before. Like, do my actions, the love I give my patients, is it doing anything? Me educating and sharing, like the knowledge I know, hey, take care of yourself. Is that doing anything? And you know what? Keep doing it because you don't know if it's the 10th time, the 12th time, the 15th time that somebody needs to hear the thing that you said 200 times. It might take that 200th time for them to be like, "Oh, dang, look, it clicked." And it's frustrating, right? Because you feel like you're on repeat, you're on autopilot, you're doing the same thing over and over again. And anyways, let me not go off on a rant here. And instead of last week, I think I said, when you start going down this mental torture for yourself, when you start saying bad things to yourself, you're not talking nice to my friend, as my friend Holly would say. She's my Instagram friend, milking my PhD, almost Dr. Holly. She says, speak nice to my friend. And I love that. Speak nice to my friend. So I tell that. I teach CNAs today. I heard them say like, "Oh God, I'm so stupid," and blah blah. I'm like, please be nice to my friend. Speak nice to my friend. This is new. Give yourself some grace. Just practice. Don't be nervous. It'll come natural to you later. Like that. Anyways, it's not that, do you want that to be true? Is it even true? The things that we're saying to ourselves, am I enough? Did I do enough? Of course you did. Of course you did. We wouldn't be feeling some kind of way if we didn't. That should be the thing there. Like we wouldn't be feeling like, man, did I do enough? We wouldn't be judging ourselves so harshly. We wouldn't be criticizing ourselves so harshly if we didn't. The reason why we feel that way is because we poured our heart and soul into it. So don't, it's not that, do I want that to be true? Is it even true? Of course we did enough. Um, Let me not go off too topic here. Um, so our thoughts, let me go into our thoughts are not just thoughts, and they create reactions in our body. I want you guys to think about this. Can you imagine grabbing like a fresh lemon, smelling it, slicing it in half and taking a big old bite from that lemon, or eating a sour candy? Can you just imagine that? And you feel it right there in your mouth water. So that's how powerful your mind is. It elicits a physical response automatically. So if you think that those negative thoughts that you're having in your brain aren't eliciting some kind of physical response, I'm here to break it to you, y'all. It ain't no good. It ain't no good. Those negative thoughts, those repeating, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, it's your body is listening and it's tense or stress. I mean, if anybody is like, man, I could use a massage every day because you're so tense, that's your body telling, that's the response. You know, your your body, your shoulders start creeping up throughout the day, and you're like, you know, because you're so anxious and you don't have to breathe and relax. That's your body saying, hey, are you listening? You need to relax. Your back is tense because you're tense. So your body's constantly speaking to you. And when you have negative thoughts that stress you out, if you all you keep thinking about, like I was talking to 50 pounds that you need to lose, if you just think about like, oh my God, I can't do it, I can't do it, and you have like these perpetuating negative thoughts, your body starts to produce chemicals like cortisol, which increase your blood pressure. So those thoughts are not good, and like I said, let me not go on a tangent here because I'll start talking about other things. Um, Remember that your mind has that visualization and the ability to have that response in your body just by thinking about it. Like your mind can't tell the difference between reality and thought. That's why you produce that response when you're just thinking about biting into a lemon or thinking about that sour candy that you ate. So when you're thinking, I'm not enough, I'm failing, I'm behind, like I said, your body feels that as real. And another thing I miss, you are addicted to those feelings. Because the moment, say, you try to do something like, I'm going to go ground my feet for 10 minutes, and you think, why the hell am I going to stand here for 10 minutes? I really got 10 other things to do right now. That is your body saying, what are you doing? This isn't normal. You're not used to just chilling for 10 minutes and putting your feet in the ground and thinking and coming back to yourself and being relaxed intentionally. Your body starts freaking out. What are you doing, girl? You got to get up and do 20 different things, right? I mean, I don't know if y'all been there, but I've been there. Like it's almost like you can't sit still. You have to go do something because, oh my God, this is so pointless. 10 minutes of putting my feet in the ground. I gotta, I could be doing XYZ, washing the dishes, spanking the kids, whatever. Whatever it is that we have moms do, the 8 dogs that, my sister has. I'm just kidding. She doesn't have 8 dogs, but we're all so busy, and we take care of people. Um, we have kids, we have spouses, life be life in y'all. Let me drink some water here. Like I said, we get addicted to those feelings. And not because we like those feelings, not because we want more of them, because that's what we're used to. We're used to having those same thoughts every day. If you think the same thing over and over every day, The outward here is it's not really going to change. It's like getting out of the loop to do something a little different. Yay, hello, Eva. Thank you for being here. Um, to get out of that loop. So it's not that we love those feelings or we like those feelings. It's just because we're used to them and we got to learn how to break the loop. So this is what I would tell myself in the beginning of talking kind to myself journey. It took me a minute to figure it out, y'all, because I feel like it's a trick to it, like how do I learn to speak to myself kindly all the time? I like prayers I say are, Lord, allow me to see myself the way you see me. That was when I was going through a divorce. I was like, Lord, allow me to see him through your eyes, Lord, please. Okay, but no, for real. Like that's, think about it. You think about your favoriteest grandkid. Don't act like you don't have one, or your favoriteest best friend, the person you love the most. The way you speak to yourself, would you say, you know what, bestie, you're just not enough? I don't think so. Like if would you speak to the person you love the most that way? Then why are we speaking to ourselves that way? So when you catch yourself saying, I'm not enough, I didn't do enough, I want you to picture the person you love the most. And for me, that was my son. I got to a point where all I wanted to do was speak life into my child. I wasn't always like that. I used to say not very nice things to my kid. I grew up in a different kind of household where we like picked on each other and whatnot. So I picked on my child for a little bit. And but now all I want to do is speak life into my child. I want him to know he is capable of doing anything. So I had to imagine, like, would I ever tell my kid, like, nah, son, you that just that's not for you. Like, and plus I don't want to alienate my son. Like, I love him so much. He might tell me like some crazy wild stuff and I might still love him anyway because he's real conservative and I am not. But I love him so much. I love him so much. I would that's my roll dog. I don't know how to put it, that's my child. So I would imagine, would I speak to him that way? I wouldn't say, you know what, you're not enough. Nobody wants to see you. Do you know what I'm saying? So why would you say it to you? And I feel like this sounds repetitive, but it might take you hearing it over and over again for you to like think about it. Man, I don't speak nicely to myself. I don't. So speak nice to my friend, as my friend Holly would say. Okay. And being okay with where you are right now. Like I said, you're allowed to feel the feelings, anger, frustration, exhaustion, like maybe, did I do enough? I'm not enough, You might feel those feelings in that moment when you're going through it, but don't stay there. Um, don't stay there because we're human. We're gonna have those experiences. We're gonna be sick and we're gonna be in vulnerable situations, but don't stay there if you can help it. Like I said, you're a spiritual being, you're having a very human experience, and it's messy. Life be lifing. All right. So this week, if you can imagine talking to yourself in those moments. Maybe you're not being nice to my friend, your very favorite grandchild. Imagine you're speaking to them. Would you talk to them that way? No way, right? Or your best friend. Sometimes stuff is a little wake-up call, and that's okay. But most of the time, like, when you're speaking to the person you want to speak life into, you are saying the nicest things. And like I said, Lord, help me see me the way you see me. That is a prayer I feel like I gotta pray every day. Because sometimes I feel like I don't think I see what other people see. Like And that's a harsh reality. That hit me real hard. Uh, it's hard to see what other people see when you don't think very highly of yourself. And, I feel like I do a really good job of always, you know, thinking highly of myself. But most women have that feeling that you're just not enough. And I don't want to just single out women. Everybody, we all have a very human experience, but I think it's all women on here. So I'm allowed to say that, right? Um, so homework is to catch the thought, I'm not enough. That's probably the biggest one. That's one that hit home for me the most this past week. And I was shocked. I was like, what feelings am I aware of? You can't ever say like, I've arrived, I am healed. I am never going to be anxious again. Like, that's totally not true. It's something we got to work on every day. Like brushing your teeth, right? You got to brush your teeth every day. So you got to talk nice to yourself every day. It can't be like, I'm gonna try it for a little bit, and then it's hard. It's a learned behavior. And if you can just change it a little bit, you'll see it's gonna change your life. All right. Um, and anyways, where was I going? Because I'll go on a rant. Instead of fixing it, ask, would I say this to someone I love? And then replace it with, you are okay with where you are right now. It is okay to be tired, and it's okay to be angry. In those moments where you're having a hard time getting out of that anger, use the anger. Use the disgust. I'm so disgusted with myself. What are you gonna do about it? Use it. If you can't, be very, very gentle with yourself. If you're the kind of person who needs to be gentle with themselves, be gentle with yourself. Give yourself some grace. We're all human. But when you know you need a little butt kicking, you know who to call, right? Like, we all have that person in our life. And I'm sorry, is it loud because they're like doing yard work outside? Okay, good. Um, So let's see it is 6:22. It's only been 22 minutes. I know a couple of y'all hopped on late. And that's okay. I'm gonna put it on YouTube for everybody to enjoy. Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to say? Thank you so much for being here. This is the very second recalibration room. I really hope you guys took something away from this, and I am very honored for all of you guys being here because and plus I don't want to take a lot of your time. And if you want to find the replay, I'll send the link like I did last time. And then it'll also be on my YouTube channel, Healing Through the Leaf. Please follow me and give me some likes, and I'll follow you and give you some likes. Thank you again so much for being here. I hope you guys go out and do something you love. Would it touch some grass in more ways than one is what I tell myself, because you guys know I like me some cannabis, but go touch you some grass, color, hug somebody you love. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I love you, sisters.